Today's top stories and your weather forecast in the first 8 minutes. Now on 8 News at 11.
Thanks for joining us. We begin with breaking news. Murder in Richmond. A man found dead in a Churchill home with severe trauma to his body.
Police are calling this a death investigation. Our 8 News reporter Matthew McClellan is live at the scene now with the very latest. Matthew?
That's right. We are on North 29th Street where this death investigation has been ongoing now for nearly 3 hours. Multiple police units are here, detectives canvassing the area, forensics teams are gathering evidence, processing it. Just to kind of pinpoint where this is all happening, the mobile command center is set up right out front of the house where this happened. This truck here, the house here with the lights on still. We've seen detectives walking in and out, still again processing evidence from this death investigation. And at this point, more questions than answers. Police say they responded to this block here of 29th Street around 8:20 tonight, and when they got here, they found that man dead inside the house. They found a traumatic injury to his upper body, and investigators tell me the victim's family member found him there. The house was in order, and the door was locked when he was found. Police are not yet calling this a suspicious death. Right now, no cause of death or suspect information is being released. The victim's son's sister tells us the man was in his early 50s.
I'm just here to find out what happened to my brother's father, honestly. I'm just here to support my family. Hopefully we can get some answers soon, but as of right now, we haven't got anything.
And it's important for me to point out that at this time, this is not being called a murder investigation. Police say they are in the preliminary stages of a death investigation here. They cannot really even ask for help from the public because they simply don't know what they have yet in this investigation. And as further detail comes out, as more information is available, we'll bring it to you right here. Reporting live in Churchill, Matthew McClellan, 8 News.
We want to express to the Harrington family and the Graham family our sorrow on what our family member, Jesse Leroy Matthew Jr., chose to do to your daughters.
Jesse Matthew today admitting to the murders of UVA student Hannah Graham and Virginia Tech student Morgan Harrington, all part of a plea deal that takes the death penalty off the table. It was an emotional day. For the first time, Matthew admitting to killing Hannah and Morgan, detailing the night of their murders.
That courtroom in Charlottesville packed with families and scores of police officers touched by the case.
Our 8 News reporter Kristen Smith was there.
They say it takes a village to raise a child. I know it takes one to bury a child.
It took 6.5 years, but Jill and Dan Harrington finally have justice for their murdered daughter, Morgan.
The primary emotion that we're feeling, amongst many mixed emotions, is relief.
And Hannah Graham's parents, here to watch the man who killed their daughter locked up for life.
His evil deprived the world of a great talent, but Hannah's enduring gift to us all is that she enabled this wicked man to be apprehended and convicted. She did change the world, but at a terrible price.
Jesse Matthew Jr. will never be released from prison as part of his plea agreement. The 34-year-old admitted to killing both Hannah and Morgan so that he would not face the death penalty.
He had me express for him in court how terribly sorry he is for everything that's happened here, how much he loves his family and is sorry for everything that they've been put through because of this.
Matthew's family is sorry too.
Words cannot express our sadness on what have happened.
After the hearing, chilling evidence released from both cases that the last witness to see Hannah Graham alive saw her with Matthew outside of his car and heard Hannah exclaim, "I'm not getting in that car with you. What is it, stolen?" That Hannah's crop top she was wearing when she disappeared was found with her remains inside out and unzipped. Her jeans had holes in them, and Hannah likely died of strangulation or suffocation. And in Morgan Harrington's death, hair from Matthew's dog was found on the T-shirt Morgan was wearing when she vanished. She died of homicidal violence of an unknown origin with rib and arm fractures as well as a fractured skull. Those disturbing details just released late this afternoon, evidence that would have been damning had the cases gone to trial. Ultimately, Matthew's attorney says
And we apologize for that tape obviously having some trouble. That was Kristen Smith reporting. The battle for justice began 6 years ago. To read the plea deal in its entirety and much more, go to our website, WRIC.com.
We turn now to chilly temperatures hitting Virginia and perhaps a little bit more.
That's right. We're going to go to John for an update on this possible snow on Friday.
Yeah, Friday morning is looking like it could turn into a little bit of a headache over us, and the more data that comes in where it's going to snow keeps shifting back and forth across the state. We really may not get it set in stone until tomorrow night. It is going to get chilly tonight. We're 33 degrees outside right now. We're headed down probably into the mid to upper 20s tonight. So we'll start tomorrow off around 27 degrees. Sunshine tomorrow. Clouds come rolling in the afternoon. We do make it up into the mid to upper 40s over the area. Here's the weather system that's headed our way. It's already crossing the Midwest, and this one's coming to the southeast in a hurry. Good bit of snow already across Illinois and over into portions of Iowa. Rain to the south of it. By tomorrow night, that's just coming our way after tonight's low temperatures. It's going to swing in here tomorrow night, overnight hours, bring us at least a little bit of snow for some of you, a little bit of rain to the south of us. And if we get a real narrow band of heavy snow coming through here, some of the snowfall numbers could get pushed up a little bit. We'll talk more about that coming up.
All right, John, and to stay informed no matter where you are, take our weather team with you. Download the 8 News Storm Tracker app.
It's been a week since Virginia communities were leveled by tornadoes. Here in Tappahannock on Deshay Road, one of the areas hardest hit by an EF3 tornado. So many homes still have trees on their roofs or no roofs at all. Down the road at the donation center, contributions have not stopped coming in. There's a community dinner for victims tomorrow night at Grace Baptist Church in Tappahannock. That begins at 6:30. The Red Cross is working steadily to help those tornado victims. They have at least 25 open cases of people and families who've lost their homes. They're also looking for people who may not be willing to ask for help. They are operating out of Evergreen Baptist Church through this week. If you'd like more information on how to donate to the Red Cross, visit WRIC.com.
We have news where you live now in Henrico. Upset parents sounding off tonight, arguing over the name of a school. Our 8 News reporter Nicole Williams explains why.
Over 50 people came out tonight to speak their minds on the proposal to change the name of the Byrd Middle School. Some say they're in favor of the name change because it's a reminder of a dark past, while others say they oppose it because it's a path down a never-ending road.
It doesn't help the black community. It doesn't help the white community. It's really an issue that divides us.
To change or not to change the name of Harry Flood Byrd Middle School, that's the question Henrico board members are grappling with.
The name itself is a stain in the history of Henrico and history of our nation.
The school is named after the Virginia senator who fought against the U.S. Supreme Court decision to end segregation.
Harry Byrd made it very clear that he did not view human beings as equal, as worthy of opportunity, especially African Americans.
A number of people voicing their opinions before the board. Most at tonight's meeting seemed to favor the name change.
African American students are forced to attend a school that is named after a strong racial dividend, that at this moment in time wouldn't agree with them walking into that school to this day.
When you have something named after him, whether it's a statue, whether it's a school, you're representing everything that goes along with that name.
But others have a different take.
If you're going to go down this path, I really don't think it's in the end. I think it's time we heal things, we put an end to this political correctness.
Now the board will hold another meeting for folks to weigh in on March 8th. That's at the Byrd Middle School at 6:30 p.m. In Richmond, Nicole Williams, 8 News.
Today at the General Assembly, a bill that would force condemned inmates to die by the electric chair if the state can't find lethal injection drugs is moving forward. Today, the Senate's Courts of Justice Committee sent the bill to the full Republican-controlled Senate. It previously sailed through the GOP-dominated House. A spokesperson for Governor McAuliffe declined to say whether or not he would support that bill. Today in Washington, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments in what's being called the most significant abortion case to reach the high court in decades. At issue, a Texas law requiring abortion providers meet standards similar to those of hospitals in that state. Surgical centers, they have wider hallways to accommodate gurneys, for example. Supporters say it's about protecting women's health. Challengers say that law is designed to shut clinics down.
This was the most important abortion rights case to be argued in the Supreme Court in almost 25 years.
Now, this decision could set the precedent for more than Texas in determining how far states can go in regulating abortion.
Here at home this year, nearly 6,600 people will be diagnosed with breast cancer in Virginia, and now more of them are turning to a unique art form to move forward. Mastectomy tattoos are bonding survivors. And up next, our 8 News anchor Amy Lacey takes us to Carytown. People from all over the world are completing their journeys there.
Also tonight, ever wonder if your work is spying on your phone? Soon, you'll be able to find out.
You're watching 8 News at 11 on this chilly Wednesday. It's the news where you live.
Stay with us. There's more ahead in just a moment.
Welcome back. Anger, fear, grief, those emotions will run high for the estimated 6,600 people diagnosed with breast cancer here in Virginia this year.
But now, a unique art form is giving more of them hope as they move forward. Here's 8 News anchor Amy Lacey.
Roberta Zelenko loves strolling through Carytown. There's window shopping, people watching, and this is truly where she got her confidence back.
When I saw him, I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Them refers to Zelenko's mastectomy tattoos, the final step in her breast cancer journey. Today, she's getting a touch-up, one of a few she's had since first coming to Amy Black's studio in 2014. 8 rounds of chemo, 3 breast surgeries, 2 years post-diagnosis.
I find that this work is really critical for a lot of people.
Black has been a tattoo artist in Carytown since 2000, but it was a phone call 5 years ago that helped her find her calling. A breast cancer survivor asking Black to ink on her areola and nipple after reconstructive surgery.
I was really, really honored and overjoyed to just do the one, and that blossomed into what you see today.
It's become a word-of-mouth business, bonding survivors. A customer at the Glen Allen clothing store where Zelenko works shared hers.
That's how I found Amy. It was a show and tell.
Social media support groups are also pointing patients in Black's direction. She lost count long ago of how many she's done.
It's probably in the thousands by now, yeah.
These tattoos cost $250 a breast. But to the women who feel whole again, they're priceless.
It's great to know that they feel good about themselves again and that they're really happy and proud to show off this beautiful art, you know, that is helping them put an end to their, cancer treatment.
That's how it's been for Zelenko, who now volunteers with other patients at VCU Massey Cancer Center.
I wish I could wear a GoPro when I show people my tattoos, because the look on their face is just like, okay, I can be well again.
Black helped Zelenko design a tattoo to cover her chemo port scar too. She wears it and her survivor status as a badge of honor with courage and humor.
I'm still here and, I'm perky. You can't always say that at my age.
Black says 3D nipple and areola tattoos are the most common, but she is getting more requests now for intricate designs to cover scars on the entire breast or port scars like Zelenko has. She started the Pink Ink Fund in 2011 to help women pay for their mastectomy tattoos, and she's about to award her 3rd grant. We'll link you to photos of these unique tattoos on WRIC.com. Amy Lacey, 8 News.
All right, thank you, Amy. It is time now for a check of that forecast.
All right, John, the white stuff is coming, you say?
Yeah, we can get a little bit of it. And I got to tell you, there are some concerns that if we get kind of a little bent, since it's March, it maybe has a little thunderstorm component to it. Numbers could get tossed all over the place. Here's what's going on. A system that is swinging out of the Midwest tonight, and it's charging down to the southeast. It's advancing in our direction. It's already starting to push some light snow into portions of Illinois, coming out of Iowa, up the Dakotas earlier, and then some rain gathering down to the south of it. And really, the key to all of this is going to be exactly where the cold air and the best channel of moisture lines up over us in the next 24 hours. Close to us here, it's all quiet over us in central Virginia. Still a few leftover snow showers back off to our north and northwest. We're 33 degrees outside right now, starting to dip down to the 30-degree mark in a few spots. We are headed into the upper 20s tonight over the area. So when you wake up tomorrow morning, probably some frost on the windshield, but we'll start the day off with sunshine. Temperatures will head up into the mid to upper 40s in the afternoon, which is not exactly favorable for a lot of snow because we're going to have some warm temperatures and the ground surface is pretty warm. So most of us start the day with sunshine, end the day with clouds and temperatures around 46 to 49 degrees. on the weather where you live here in central Virginia. So here we go at the map tomorrow. There's the sun when you wake up. Here come the clouds rolling in as we head to the afternoon hours, and we start to see some precipitation approaching from the west by the time we get into the early evening. And this thing really starts to develop because the storm's going to come right through the Carolinas and then really intensify once it gets offshore, but by then it'll be cutting its moisture off. The question is going to be, where do we get a band of, shall we say, moderate snow that lines up over us? That's going to be the key question. So we'll have some rain right now in the southeast. You see this band coming through, and you notice right as we get into Friday morning, up close over us, this band is just kind of sitting, dividing line right through central Virginia. And again, this dividing line is going to probably shift north or south each time we run the computer models by about 20 or 30 miles. Then it's all done by the time we get into Friday afternoon, moving on out of the way as we head into Friday night and over into the weekend. We're going to be back to sunshine. So in fact, Friday afternoon, if we don't have a minimal amount of snow, it's probably all going to be all melted away. And by Saturday, things are going to be so isolated snowfall amounts, 1 to about 2 inches possible off to the north of us, 1 inch here, mainly wet down to the south of us. We'll show you that graphic again right at the end of the show. 47 degrees tomorrow, 44 degrees by Friday afternoon as it all comes to an end, 50 on Saturday, Sunday 57, and then we're into the 70s the early part of next week.
Alrighty, there are the icons, there's the music. In what's trending tonight, nobody likes being monitored. But if you think your boss is following your activities on your company iPhone, how can you tell? In the iOS 9.3 update, Apple will send you a message on your lock screen that reads, "This iPhone is managed by your organization." In the About section, you can get more details. Unfortunately, the feature does not let you turn off supervision or change your privacy. It's just there to remind you not to send any crazy pictures.
Oh my gosh. All right. Turns out squirrels are nuts over music. Yeah, sorry, we didn't do that. A Swedish photographer realized squirrels like to sit outside his kitchen window, so he decided to snap some pictures. Then he got sort of bored with those same old photos. He decided to spice things up, creating tiny instruments for these little critters to play. He says it took months to get the instruments the right size, but once he did, this is what you see.
That's some fine Photoshop in there. My goodness. So in Sweden...
No, he created those little instruments.
Right.
And then, yes, and then put them on the photos.
Right, okay, so it wasn't like the squirrels were all of a sudden playing the sax.
I was hoping for some music or something on there.
What I'm saying is that it's amazing that in Sweden you have enough time to build tiny instruments for the squirrels that just sit on your windowsill.
Too much time on your hands.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right, Mitch, take it away.
There's never too much time for art, folks. VCU came into the Siegel Center tonight with the conference championship in the balance. And oh yeah, it was senior night. Highlights of post-game reaction coming your way. Welcome back. It's time for the 8 Sports Report. VCU played its final home game of the season tonight, and a win would put the Rams in the driver's seat for the Atlantic 10 regular season title. It was also senior night. Melvin Johnson's final home game, also Corey Bilberry's final home game. He's only had 1 season here, though. But here's the senior, Bilberry I'm talking about, making his presence known. 9 points on the night, makes it a 13-point lead for VCU. Davidson not going away, though. Jack Gibbs had just 3 points in the first half, but scored 15 in the second. These are 2 Wildcats within 6. Davidson had all the most, so VCU goes to Mo. Ali Cox, pick and roll, and 1. And it worked so well the first time, let's do it again. Ali Cox and 1 again. He led the Rams with 18 points tonight. VCU back up by 13. Not too shabby of a night for Melvin Johnson either. 16 points in his final home game. The Rams held off Davidson to win 70-60. St. Joseph's lost to St. Bonaventure. That means VCU wins Saturday at Dayton. They are the conference champs.
I dream about it all the time, of course. I only dream about positive things. I wake up from nightmares, so I obviously pictured this from the get-go. I love this place. I love our fans, the support here. I see why all the alumni come back here in the off-season to work out. RVA is definitely a second home.
Senior nights are tough, you know, because you want to win so bad. Everybody on our team wanted to win so bad. I was worried we may try a little bit too hard.
Virginia Tech hosted Pitt tonight. VT looking for a 4-game win streak, and early on, the Hokies were step for step with a 20-win Panthers. Zach Leday with the follow and 2 points. He had 10 key rebounds tonight. Pitt responds, though. Michael Young driving, pulling up 2 of his 16, and he also had 9 rebounds. But how about Justin? Well, hold on a second. Let me go back. That was Cameron Artis. This right here would be Michael Young for 2 of his 16, and he had 9 rebounds as well. This just in, though, Justin Bibbs for 3. Hokies led at the break. They get the win 65-61, 4 straight, and they also guarantee themselves a winning season. Public high school basketball doesn't return until tomorrow night, but the private schools are now 2 rounds into their state tournament. St. Christopher's hosted St. Stephen St. Agnes tonight. Winner goes to the VISAA state semifinals. Cheering section quiet because the Saints from Richmond were losing because the Saints from Alexandria, well, they didn't miss much tonight. They led by as many as 7 in this one, but St. Chris has Alex Petrie. He misses this three-pointer. It gets tipped back out to him by Justin Jasper, and he scores on the rebound. And they also have Nick Sherrod. Sherrod going to continue his career as a Richmond Spider. He had 29 tonight. Unfortunately, this is the end of his Saints career as St. Stephen St. Agnes gets the win 79-71. The St. Catherine's girls hosted Trinity today. Winner also goes to the state semifinals here. Both local teams and Mary Clark Wallace off the feed from Kara Mingus, point to the passer. Trinity was just a little too strong inside today, though. The Titans topped the Saints in this one. The final was 61-49. And that's it for sports. I'm Mitch Carr. Lottery's next.
All right, once again, Friday morning is going to be a little messy here across central Virginia. Right now, the best opportunity for any heavier snowfall would be, I think, north of Richmond with maybe an isolated 3-inch amount on grassy surfaces. That's going to be the heaviest accumulations, about an inch broad brush over much of central Virginia, mainly wet down the south. These numbers could slide up and down a little bit as we watch the new data come in late tonight and through the day tomorrow.
All right, so it's going to be pretty snow.
Hopefully. Thanks for joining us. I'm Christina Fearig.
I'm Juan Condi. We're back tomorrow starting at 5. We'll see you then.